all. There's nothing that would have predicted any of this could have ever happened.
Yeah.
Nothing in his childhood at all. I would have never in a million years thought something like this could happen to him at all.
You didn't see things like him getting into fights? Or...
No fighting. He was quiet.
Could happen to him. To him.
And he got along with people. And he didn't start anything. And he was a perfect teenager, tell you the truth. He did not even rebel. He wanted to go.
Okay, that perfect teenager. To tell you the truth. She's lying. Because what she's doing subconsciously, it's coming out that, you know, she's telling a lie. He was a perfect teenager. That is lying. To tell you the truth.
And he was a perfect teenager, tell you the truth. He did not even rebel. He wanted to go to NASCAR Tech. We made that possible for him.
What did he do after he finished school?
He worked at the dealership as a service technician and was making good money and loved it. He bought a...
ASC certification.
A toolbox, and he started buying his tools and enjoyed it. He was doing well.
When and where did he meet SHANANN?
They met, and he liked her, she liked him, but it didn't, I don't think that was love at first sight or anything. They took a little while and I guess got to know each other and, you know, dated. It was always a little strange that she always said a lot of things about Chris in front of me that I didn't like. Like, this isn't the kind of person I would date. He doesn't know how to do this, or he doesn't know how to do that. He looks like a skater boy.
So, what's wrong with looking like a skater boy?
Look at his hair. Look how much stuff he puts on his hair. It was just on and on and on, and I just got a bad feeling.
Oh, I just got a bad feeling.
Got married in 2012. Did they get married in North Carolina?
They did. Mm-hmm.
How was that?
We didn't attend.
Really?
Mm-mm.
All right, I'm going to stop this for 1 second because I have to speak out because I'm compelled to speak out. So all of this is okay, right, guys? This interview, Mark's interview, fully putting out to the public, Cindy Watts telling him SHANANN's such a bad person. You just seen that video. I attached it to this one. He never seen it. He never witnessed it. However, mother-in-law's saying that she's such a bad person, yet SHANANN's friends weren't implanted in their brain with a bad perception of someone. What they seen was a marriage that looked healthy and was a good marriage. However, on Chris Watts' side, Chris Watts' friend that, you know, got pretty, like, sick of Cindy actually calling him to be factual about it, putting him in the middle. He was like, come on, man, this has got to stop. Like, this is aggravating. Like, you know, your mom constantly calling me, telling me this stuff, bashing. Because she felt like her son wasn't listening to her. He was always taking up for her. How dare he take up for his wife? Well, that's his wife. And a husband is supposed to take up for his wife. And when you love someone and you're in a marriage, if someone came to me and spoke badly about my husband, it pissed me off. I would take up for my husband. Now, if he was wrong in that situation, I would still take up for my husband to the said person speaking badly about my husband. But to my husband, I would say, hey, you know, I think you did this wrong, or you could have approached it a different way. You know, you could have handled it another way, you know. But you have to keep in mind, parents, as parents, we have to realize that our children have gone on with their lives and that they get married and we stay out of their business, you know. You stay out of their business, Mrs. Watts, and you allow them to just be happy, okay? As long as you can see for yourself, but you couldn't see it. You didn't want to see it because you already had this tainted hatred toward your daughter-in-law. It was a hatred that you had. It was a perception that you put in your mind. It was your manipulation that you had. His friends convinced that she's such a bad person, yet said friends couldn't see it. But then when all this happened, it was like, oh my God, she was right. Was Cindy right? Was what she was saying right? I didn't see it, but oh my God, this happened, and oh my God, now it has to be right. It has to be the truth. But yet, it wasn't the truth. It wasn't the truth. It wasn't the truth, okay? I'm going to put Cindy, I'm not a licensed psychologist, okay? But I've studied psychology, a lot of psychology, that I could have become a licensed psychologist, okay? I know a lot about psychology. Cindy is a mother-in-law all on her own. She's definitely a mother-in-law all on her own. She is one that, yes, a narcissist, yes, a manipulator, but we got to put her in a group of her own. So all the licensed psychologists that are listening to me right now, we have to take that person by the name of Cindy and put her in a box of its own and write the word Cindy Watts, okay? Because she is a character of her own. I don't even think the manual of what she is could actually tell you what she is. But I do know the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, okay? I can tell you that, and I can promise you that. I know this video is nothing to do with what is about to come out. But this video has a lot to do with what is about to come out. And it gives you guys a better, bigger picture of what's about to come out. No, I'm not afraid to let it out. SHANANN will be heard. Because all these videos on YouTube are out that have slandered SHANANN's reputation, that have made her look like a terrible person. And you know what? SHANANN's not here to defend herself. So I can't let that happen. I can't let that happen. My heart and my passion will not let that happen. So everyone can come at me with the Cindy Watts flying monkeys and come at me and state, you know, oh, she's grieving. You heard it for yourself. She didn't state what happened to her granddaughter. She stated what happened to Chris. Never could I have predicted that this would ever happen to Chris. What? What? I'm confused. Like, that's confusing. What do you mean what happened to Chris? Are you serious? Like, are you freaking serious, girl? You are a JOKE, okay? When I hear just this evidence. You know what? No matter what, she just would have never accepted SHANANN. No one would have ever been good enough for her golden boy, guys. No one, okay? She's the type of mother-in-law that, you know, fills the heads of other people with lies and twist and turn it, which is why SHANANN stated that she needed to record that conversation and was willing to fix this if that was what was going on in Chris's mind and had him all messed up. Because she loved her husband dearly, guys. She really loved him. Okay? But a mother-in-law like this is definitely a narcissist because they get other people on their side and they feel the need to get other people on their side. And they have to do this as a justification for their actions and their feelings because they know in their mind that they shouldn't be feeling like this because really she's not showing you anything to make you feel this way. Yet, your codependent personality of your son, you know, you couldn't accept it, you know, no one, you just couldn't accept that he's got a wife and that you're just not the priority anymore. You're not, you know, the mommy that he needs anymore. That's part of growing up. Your child grows up. And as a parent, you accept it. So she filled his head with lies, you know, to try to turn him against his wife, and it wasn't working, okay? It wasn't working. You know, you don't even go to his wedding. You hated SHANANN so much. Like, you gotta love your grandkids more than you love, or more than you hate the other person. I'm sorry, I misspoke. You gotta love your grandchildren more than you hate the other person, okay? And you gotta give the mother of your grandchildren, whom they loved, enough respect. She did a lot of stuff to start trouble for her son and his wife, so he would divorce her. And she states, you know, oh, I finally felt that he finally seen it, that he finally seen what I've been telling him for 8 years. I finally felt he got it, he seen it. She was so glad Kessinger came along. She was so happy. Yes, finally. Finally.
We didn't attend because SHANANN and I just couldn't get along. And I didn't like the way she
Okay, I gotta stop there. SHANANN and I just couldn't get along. SHANANN did everything she could do to try to have her mother-in-law accept her, to do everything she could, because that's who SHANANN was. She wanted everyone to like her, okay? She was a people person. She was an extroverted person. She loved to help people. She tried to do everything she could, okay? And toward the end, like, SHANANN's like, I can't do this alone. I can't fight this alone with these people, man. Like, I just don't have it in me. Well, SHANANN, I have it in me. And I'll fight for you. Because you're going to get the last word. I promise you.
Treated him.
What do you know about their marriage and their issues?
Oh, very little.
Hold on, guys. She treated him a certain way, okay? I've heard a couple comments. They hate when I rewind. Well, you know what? I got to rewind in order to get some comprehension here, okay?
And I didn't like the way she treated him.
What do you know about their...
That was her perception, okay? Everyone else that witnessed their relationship never seen her treat him anyway. That was all Cindy, okay? That was all Cindy manipulating everyone to believe and get everyone on her side to believe that SHANANN was such a terrible person. That she was having an affair with her boss and she was doing this and that. She was planting that in their head and having other people, you know, try to plant that in Chris's head, but he knew better. He knew he had a good wife. He knew he had a good wife. And she's failing to, like, understand, like, Chris was, like, sick of her mouth, too. He was getting sick of her, too. Like, Jesus, all my life I've had to hear you and your crap and your codependency and everything else. Guys, look up the word codependent. Like, a codependent person has to put down everyone around them because they have to be number one, okay? So when it comes to their child and a codependent parent, no one's ever going to be good enough. Only mommy's going to be good enough for you, son. You can't do this without mommy. You need me. You can't do laundry or anything because mommy will do it for you because you need me to do it for you. Son, you can't feed yourself because mommy will do it for you. You can't do nothing without your mommy. And SHANANN showed him independence. She showed him self-esteem. She showed him that you can have and be whatever you want to be.
marriage and their issues?
Oh, very little. Very little. You can only observe. I could only observe what I saw when I was around them. Christopher always seemed anxious, and he when she needed something, I mean, he would run. He wouldn't walk, he would run, he would...
Okay, guys, I've been married, well, I've been with my husband for 18 years, okay? And I married him in 2009. My husband does everything for me. He's a wonderful man, and I am so blessed, okay? And when it comes to my husband, he does do everything for me. Whatever I ask him to do, he goes out of his way to make sure I'm happy. And he's amazing, okay? And also, I want to please my husband, and I love my husband too. And I know I have a great husband, as does he have a great wife. And I am very loyal to my husband as he is loyal to me. So let's keep all of that in mind, that when you love someone, we do go out of our way to make them happy. Especially when we love our spouse and we know that we have a good spouse. And a good man does do that for their wife because that's what they're supposed to do for their wife. But Cindy doesn't know that because she doesn't have that. Truth, facts, stating. She doesn't have that with her husband. So, she's actually jealous that she didn't have that with her husband. Her husband's more worried about other things, not her.
Get it? He just always seemed to be right there at her beck and call.
And did that seem odd to you? Or?
Very odd. It was very odd. He just seemed nervous.
So how much did you see them over these last 6 years?
Probably twice a year. We would go up there.
Did you stay with them? Or?
Yeah, we would stay with them.
Okay, so you only seen them twice a year. How would you know any of this? How would you know anything about this? Seriously, how would you know? Like, how would you know of what you have observed if you only seen them just that amount of time? Things that make you go,
And stay a week and then come back home.
Tell me about Bella and Celeste.
Oh, Bella was just like Chris. Just like him, shy, cautious, conservative. Cece was a ball of fire. She was fearless, completely fearless. She just loved to run.
Guys, I'm sorry, but you're talking about your grandchildren like a robot. It's coming out like a robot to me. Okay, what a robot would do. Where is your emotion behind that? Where is the emotion? And I'm still stuck on this. I would never in a million years thought something like this could happen to him. I would never in a million years thought something like this could happen to him. What about what happened to his wife and his kids? Your grandchildren. Sorry guys, my doorbell is detecting visitors and that just continuously goes off. So I apologize for that. You know, she could have took this opportunity, guys, to make everything right. She could have went on the media and just made everything right, you know. But instead, she chose to do this. She chose to torment and destroy SHANANN's reputation. And her son put SHANANN in that situation of losing her life, okay? But she chose to torment I don't think she's capable capable of any real human feelings, guys. I don't think she's capable. Just like Chris. He's just like her. Scary, huh? That's really scary.
So they were wonderful. It breaks my heart to know that they're not here. They were beautiful children. Beautiful children.
What did they call you?
Mimi.
Mimi? And how about Ronnie? What did they call?
Papa.
Do you think Chris loves Shanann?
Oh, God, he loved her. Yes, I believe he loved her at first. I believe he did. But I think as the years
So sorry,
I think
guys.
it just being in that kind of a relationship, which the social worker even said that marriage should have ended a long time ago.
Okay, you guys just heard that, right? Let's go back. I want you to hear it one more time.
Relationship, which the social worker even said that marriage should have ended a long time ago.
I want you guys to look up the definition of a social worker. And then when I do my video, hopefully I get it out to you guys the beginning of this week coming. That social worker, keep that in your mind, okay? Look up the definition of a social worker. Why would a social worker tell her that? Who's this social worker? Who is a social worker?
Shanann's pregnancy, and what did Chris tell you about that? Was he excited?
No, I don't think he was. I think it was a shock to him. And he said that they have been talking about divorce, that they are not compatible anymore, and he was not happy anymore. And I finally thought he's finally seen the light.
And I take it Chris had never been in trouble with the law?
Never. He's got one speeding ticket and didn't even know about that.
Tell me what happened when they were reported missing. What did you find out? How did you find out? Who told you?
I think Ronnie called me. Ronnie called me and said that they're missing, and I thought, I don't believe it. I didn't believe they were missing. I believed that she was going to punish Chris. She was just going to punish him, take the girls, and just punish him. I had no idea of anything else. Christopher called and said, Mom, there's...
Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a victim's advocate. Excuse me. And SHANANN is a victim to Cindy Watts, okay? Because as a victim's advocate, I can state this right now, that SHANANN was a victim of Cindy Watts. Just by her own admission, right here, right here, right here. And by other facts that are extremely well known. SHANANN not only is the victim of Chris, she is the victim of Cindy Watts.
Searching the house. I said, okay, that's fine. I mean, and I still was not worried. I was not worried. I
still was not worried. Actually, in that tone, you were worried. You're lying.
thought SHANANN had run off with girls.
So walk me through the sequence of events over the next few days. Did you and your husband travel to Colorado?
Ronnie did.
Okay.
Ronnie did. And, I mean, Christopher let everybody come in. Her phone is there. Her purse is there. Everything is there. But there's no kids, and there's no SHANANN. And I was not worried. You know, I thought she has just gone off, and I'm going to punish you for this, and you can worry about me. But when
I thought you were just going, God help me. I can't take this lady, man. I can't. And nor do I understand the people that take up for her. I do not hear the media at all leading her into questions. I don't hear them editing her answers or questions. She's speaking clearly, openly. No leading. Media is not leading her. This is all her, guys. All her words. Sorry if I'm coming across a certain way, but my passion comes out, and I cannot contain my passion when it comes to victims. I will not apologize, nor will I contain my passion. This is who I am. This is me. So I can't, guys. I can't contain it. I just can't. I can't.
Christopher called us, and he said, I said, do you want us to come down now? He said, tell Dad I need him. Tell Dad I need him to come down. I said, what about me? He said, no, Mom, just stay. Just send Dad. And
I said, what about me? No, Mom, just send Dad. Like, no, Mom, you've already caused enough. Like, you stressed me the hell out. I just need Dad.
picked him up at the airport, and they drove to the police station, and Chris still didn't say anything to him. Nothing. He had already been interrogated 7 hours prior to that. He had already let the police go into his home, search everything.
Guys, I'm going to stop this for 1 second because I have a lot of people that say, you know, if you were in her shoes, Rebecca, and, you know, she's a victim too, and blah, 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 okay? A lot of people say this, but guys, she had no problem going on national television and telling the whole world SHANANN was such a bad person, and SHANANN can't defend herself, okay? So when she did that, she allowed that to happen to her. She allowed others to stand up for SHANANN and be her voice, like me, a victim's advocate. She allowed me to say, wait a minute. You are bashing a victim who is no longer able to defend herself. You are on national television telling the whole world these things that are not true about a victim that cannot defend herself and that your son did this to. Your son chose to do this to. I'm such an awful person, though, because I am defending a victim no longer able to defend herself against lies and slander. No longer able to defend herself and her reputation, which is all she has left. All she has left. She did this to herself, okay? She did this to herself when she did this interview. And no, media did not twist this interview. Anybody, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to know this, okay? This is her speaking. This is all her. This is her. I'm not even showing you guys her face because, like, it's hard to watch. It's painful. It's painful for me to analyze these videos and to also put together the truth that's about to come out and to analyze other things and to try to put all the pieces of the puzzle together and let everyone get a clear understanding of what we're dealing with. It's hard. So I don't show the face. because it's painful, okay? It's really painful. And it breaks my heart for SHANANN. That for 8 years, she wasn't dealing with just one person doing this to her marriage. It was 2. And then it became 3. Then it became 4 against her. Then it became 5 against her. You know, it's just not fair. It's not fair. It's not right. And when it's not right, we have to speak up, because if we do not, we are just as guilty as the ones that don't speak up. It's imperative that you are her voice, that you speak for her, that you defend her, because she can't defend herself. She had no problem doing this to SHANANN, guys. No problem. So how is it okay? How is that okay? Call me what you want. But I call myself a very passionate person that genuinely cares about victims, that I can't sit back and allow a person to bash a victim that is no longer able to defend herself. SHANANN was such a wonderful person that she could hide a lot, and she did. She hid so much, guys. Her last week with her parents, she had to pretend like it was the pregnancy and not what her husband was doing to her. That's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to me. I'm sure it's heartbreaking to you guys. But there's more to this story, guys. There's more to this. I'm going to add more to the video.
I can speak to Mark, please.
This is him.
Hi, Mark. My name is Matt Salem, an agent with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, sir. How about yourself?
Doing good, thanks. Hey, the reason I'm calling is we're doing some follow-up on the Watts case, and it's my understanding that you are a friend of theirs. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Would you have a couple minutes to speak to me about it?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, let me just get some identifying information from you.
Okay.
What is your last name?
My last name is Jamison.
How do you spell it?
Jamieson.
Okay. And date of birth for you? Eagley?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So how did you know Shanann and Chris?
Me and Chris have been best friends for almost 25, 30 years. So I've been in and out of their lives quite a bit over the years. I've met Shanann on multiple occasions. I've met their daughters multiple occasions. And me and Chris would stay in contact via phone call or text message, or we'd go see each other.
Okay. So were you friends with Chris before he met Shanann?
Yes, I was.
Oh yeah, I guess for 25 years you would be, huh?
Yeah.
You guys grew up together then?
We did.
Okay. So did you live in North Carolina then?
Yes.
Okay. What took you out?
I believe when, I'm in the Navy got stationed out here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When's the last time you talked to Chris?
I talked to him, I think it was Tuesday before that Wednesday he had confessed. And it was just through a text message.
Okay.
But that was the last time I contacted him.
Did you initiate that, or did he?
I initiated it.
Okay. And was there like a back and forth conversation, or how did that go?
No, it was just me basically saying, I hope he's okay, I hope the family's okay, that I knew he was busy and he's probably got a lot going on, and that if he needed to speak to me or if he needed anyone to talk to, he could let me know. And then he just reached back and said, thanks man, and yeah, he's been busy, and that was it.
Okay. So before that, when's the last time you had like a conversation with him?
Before that, right off the top of my head, it was also a text message, and it was about, I want to say a week and a half before this incident happened, yeah, again, it was just through text message. And I was basically telling him, like, hey man, reach out to me, like, talk to me, and he would text me back, but he never called me, or we never saw each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that unusual?
No, I just knew he was busy. I just knew he had a lot of things going on. Just because the things that were going on with the family at the time, I could tell, like, he was busy. And I knew. I didn't press him. I didn't put any pressure on him. I just letting him know I'm here to talk if he needed to talk. And,
Okay.
yeah. And he said he would. He just didn't reach out.
Okay. And just for my clarification, this is the...
Yeah.
Okay. So what kind of family things were going on?
I just knew that Shanann and his mom, Cindy, were fighting again. Because Cindy had called me and told me that they had started fighting again. And I kind of was a little upset with Chris because I texted Chris and just let him know, like, hey, man, this has got to stop. Like, I'm tired of hearing this. And he reached back to me and said he understood, he knew what was going on, and he kind of clued me in on him and Shanann are going to separate and get a divorce. And then that's when I told him, like, well, I'm here if you need to talk, man. And he said he would reach out to me some more, but he never really did after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were Shanann and Cindy fighting about?
She said that, and this is coming from Cindy, that Cece had a food allergy to chocolate, and I guess Cece ate a whole bowl of Hershey Kisses, and Shanann came into the living room and was just yelling at Cindy and, telling her she's trying to kill her baby or something like that because of the food allergy. And Cindy had no idea, and she claimed she had no idea about it. And they had this huge argument, and she ended up kicking Shanann out of the house, telling her, to leave. And then shortly after that, Cindy called me crying and afraid because she was afraid she had just lost Chris, that, Shanann was going to, turn Chris against her, like what has happened in the past. And
Okay.
so she had called me crying and just letting me know, and that's when I just text Chris, like, hey, man, like, what's going on, dude? And yeah.
Okay. Well, you said that in the past, Shanann's turned Chris against Cindy. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so right around the time when they were engaged, I believe, Chris and Shanann were engaged, this huge fight between Cindy, Jamie, and Shanann was taking place, and they all felt like Shanann was trying trying to turn Chris against the family. And for a little bit there, Chris was on Shanann's side, you know, not really defending his family. But I guess over the course of a year or two, they ended up patching things up, and they finally made amends, and they had to back to a talking relationship again. And then this happened, and so like we're basically going back to square one.
Gotcha. And so could you tell, was Chris taking Shanann's side again in the fight about the food allergy thing?
Yeah, so Cindy did say that Chris initially was on Shanann's side, like he was upset with his family. But then out of nowhere, Cindy did text me or call me again and say that Chris has decided to separate from Shanann. And then all of a sudden, like, it was Chris, he was even telling me during the text messages that he had seen the true side of Shanann and that he is done. He doesn't want to be with her anymore. And so we're like, okay. And that's what I was like, hey, man, I'm here. If you want to talk, you know, I understand this is going to be a big process. So just let me know, man. And he said he would, but he never reached out.
Okay. Do you know what he meant by that when he said he saw the true side of Shanann?
I didn't ask because I didn't feel like it was my position to dig, but I had assumed that he had seen, because for years his family has always assumed that Shanann has been pretty shady. And I never really saw it, but they all had reason to believe that she was very, very, there was something about her. And Chris said he had finally seen whatever his family had seen. He had finally seen that side of her. And, yeah.
Do you know what it was that the family was seeing in her?
She was just, this is what they were telling me, is that she was very shady. She had a dark past, like, I don't know, like sleeping with her old boss, and even while she was seeing Chris, and money issues with her boss. She was just very conniving, and that was what they were telling me. Now, when I saw Shanann, I didn't see any of that. Like, she was always very pleasant.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop that right there. They're putting in Chris's head, like I said before in my other videos, all of this for years, trying to turn Chris against his wife. Now Kessinger comes along and gives the excuse that Chris finally sees Shanann for who she is. But in Chris's recent confession, he states he doesn't want people to remember her like that because that wasn't her. She was a wonderful wife, a wonderful mother, and she was very good to him. And so Chris's best friend right here is stating that he never seen that side of Shanann. And he was really kind of getting sick of Cindy always calling him and trying to get everybody on her side and manipulating and putting all these lies in everyone's head. So then you ask yourself, why would I want to tell Shanann's story? Why do I feel the need that Shanann needs to be heard? Well, because everyone else is getting heard here. Shanann deserves to be heard now. And so she will be heard. This I promise.
So you never had any issues with Shanann?
No, I mean, I never saw that side. I didn't really trust her just because of a lot of things that were being said.
Right.
I didn't really trust her because a lot of things that were being said. Yeah. Cindy feeding his best friend this stuff, thinking the best friend can get to Chris. She really, really had a major hatred. And I'm going to add other videos to prove this hatred. But let's continue.
Yeah, but I never actually physically saw anything.
Okay. Sorry, my pen just died. I had to find another one. So really gave specifics about what he saw or the reason he was wanting to separate.
He did not. I was basically letting him know about the conversation that I had with his mother, just cluing him in on what his mom was saying about Shanann, and he was not really confirming it, but confirming it that, yeah, I've seen that part of Shanann, but he never said exactly what he saw. He just said, I've seen that side of her, I've seen the true side of her, and I'm done.
Okay.
I was like, okay.
He sees the true side of her because of Kessinger. There was no true side of her because she was a loving wife, okay? I'm going to stress that again. She was a loving wife.
In your conversations with Chris recently, have you noticed any changes in him?
No, just in his eyes, I could tell he looked stressed. He looked wore out. But he's always been Chris. He's never been anything but that. Like, no signs of a dark side to him or anything. Chris has always been a nice guy. Always been a good guy. He's been a great friend.
Okay.
Even when I saw them in San Diego, Chris was still Chris. Like, he was your average, typical Chris.
Yeah. How long ago was that?
I believe that was in June, or no, not June, excuse me, July. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they came down for a trip, for a company trip. And
Oh, okay.
they only stayed for like a weekend, but I went down to see them one day.
Okay. Are you pretty close to San Diego?
I am.
Okay. I've never heard 29
About. It's in the middle of the desert, and it sucks, but
Oh, really?
I'm about 3 hours. Yeah, I'm about 3 hours from San Diego.
Oh, okay. So you're in the Navy in the middle of a desert?
Yeah, I'm a Navy corpsman, so we're stationed with the Marine Corps.
Oh, okay.
Anytime we do their medical, so we have to. So we have to we do their medical for them. But so anytime the Marines, wherever the Marines go, we go.
Gotcha.
And they give me orders out here to the desert.
Okay. So what was your opinion of Shanann then?
Initially, I liked her. Remember when Chris first met her, he was so excited about it, and I was excited for him. But over the years, like I said, the family had really, Chris's family had really had an issue with her, and she had an equal issue with his family, and it's just kind of, I started to get the uneasy feeling that they were getting. But again, like, I never really saw anything that they were seeing, because I think they were more close to her than I was. I was just Chris's friend, and they're the family. They were on that constant form of contact. But for me, every time I was there, I went to their house, or they would come see me, or we would text or talk. Like, they were always good. They always seemed fine. And Shanann never really exhibited anything that they were claiming, but there was always, after a while, there was that uneasy feeling about her, like something has to be there if everyone's got such a problem with it.
Okay. But you never saw.
Yeah, see, so, once somebody, to the extent of which one believes is real, it becomes real to them. So when someone keeps putting in your head, that this person's such a bad person, you start to believe it. So then you're not seeing it, but yet you're starting to believe it, because if they feel this way, well, it has to be true then. But I'm not seeing it, but it has to be true.
Saw anything yourself?
But I never actually saw it.
Okay. Did Chris ever tell you about any of those things that he also saw in her that her family was talking about?
He did not.
Okay.
And again, I didn't press, because I didn't want to dig into his personal life.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously you liked Chris because you were friends with him for 25 years, but what can you tell me about him?
Chris, he has always been a quiet guy. He only opens up to the people that he's comfortable with. He's the type of guy that would do anything for you. He'd bend over backwards for you, and he's been there for me multiple times when I went through issues with relationships or whatever. Like Chris is, he's been a brother to me, big time, and I still love him as a brother. Like, this all comes as a shock, but still, like, Chris is a good guy, and the way the media is painting him out to be, that's not Chris at all.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The way the media is painting him out to be is not Chris at all. Well, no, it's not. Chris is a Chris of his own. He's a character of his own, okay? So, him not being who the media is portraying him to be, he's a murderer, okay? He annihilated his family, okay? Chris chose to annihilate his family. Keep in mind, this guy's interview is before all facts came out. Before all the evidence was right there in their face. That Chris just wasn't who they thought he was. Now, was he?
And he loved his daughters very, very much.
Do you ever know him to have a temper?
I've never seen a mean side to Chris ever.
Okay.
He's much like his mother. His mother's very kind-hearted and sweethearted, and Chris is relatively the same way.
I'm going to stop right there. He's like his mother, kind-hearted, sweethearted. Well, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. They make everyone think they're kind-hearted and sweethearted. Yet a kind-hearted and sweethearted person would not go against the mother of your granddaughters, nor try to call all the friends to convince you that they're such a bad person for your son, nor go to the extent of going on the media and bashing the mother of your grandchildren. That's not a kind-hearted person. I'm sorry. So, the facade is real. What a good facade she played, didn't she? Kind-hearted. Yeah. Just wait.
So obviously he would come to you and talk to you when he was having issues in his life. What other ways did he have that, that to deal with conflict or issues in his life?
For these past couple years, him and I haven't really talked much. I would say like the past 3 or 4 years, but if he was truly going through something serious, he definitely would have reached out to me, but I know he also had support wherever he was in Colorado. There was also his friend he had in Colorado that I'm sure he probably reached out to them more than he did with me. But but ultimately his whole, to my understanding, his whole routine was basically just go to work and take care of the girls.
Okay. Do you know who his friends are here in Colorado?
I do not.
Okay.
I've never met any of them.
Okay. How about any other friends of his that you know of that we could talk to?
Off the top of my head, I honestly don't know.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of the people he knew, SHANANN had known.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I said that a lot of the people that Chris knew, SHANANN knew. They were SHANANN's friends.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else that you think we should know about either Chris or SHANANN or their relationship or the girls or anything else?
Not that I can think of.
Any questions that I haven't asked that you think we should be asking, or anybody else that you think we should be talking to?
I'm sure you guys don't know who they were friends with, but
Okay. All right. Well, if you got like a pen and paper, I'll give you my contact information in case something comes to mind.
okay, go ahead.
My name is Matt Saylor, Sailor.
Okay.
Just like the Navy.
Right on.
And I'm an agent with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, CBI.
Do you have a phone number or anything?
Yep, 303
303.
239 4206.
Okay.
So if any other information comes to mind, you know, something you think we should know, something you forgot about, or other people you think we should be talking about, feel free to reach out to me and give me a call. We'd like to have as much information as possible, so anybody that we can talk to would be good.
Absolutely. I do have a question for you, and without you, I guess, divulging anything that you can, am I expected to be appearing in court or anything, just because I have to let my chain of command know that they're already tracking about this issue, and I just have to let them know if I'm going to be making an appearance?
I wouldn't anticipate that. Obviously, those decisions are made by the district attorney, but and I can't say what evidence they're going to use, what witnesses they're going to use, but it's not like you have any. I mean, it's all important information, but it's not.
Like, is it going to make them innocent? Is it going to make them guilty?
So, I mean, you'll go into my report as a witness just because I talked to you, but I wouldn't anticipate you having to be called for trial.
Okay.
But I can't rule it out, obviously. So.
Right.
Any other questions I can answer or try to?
That's it.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your time. Appreciate you talking to me today.
Yep. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Yep. All right. You too.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Hello,
May I speak to Kelly Berg, please?
this is Kelly.
Hi, Kelly. My name is Greg Zentner. I'm a field agent with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation in Denver, Colorado.
Hi.
Hi there. Thanks for returning my phone call. I wanted to ask you a few questions. Do you have a few minutes to talk about SHANANN?
Yes,
Okay.
sure.
Just so you know, this phone is going to be recorded, so just so you're aware.
Okay.
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 So let me get a little information from you. Do you have a middle name?
And
And just ANN.
yes,
And is this the best number for you? This 626 number.
yes, my cell number.
What's your home address?
It's 3 Corning, CORNING Ave, in Pompton Lakes, New Jersey, 07442.
That was Pompton Lakes.
Yes.
I never heard of that one. Where's that at?
The Wayne area. We're in northern Jersey.
Okay. All right. Okay. How long have you known SHANANN?
I've known her since she was a little girl. We used to live we lived across the street from each other in Clifton.
Okay. So how old were you when you guys met, do you think?
I was probably 10, 11.
And you guys
I'm 6 years older than her.
Oh, you are?
So, yeah.
6. So you guys didn't really go to, like, school together. You were
No,
just
no.
neighbors.
Right.
Okay. All right. And you guys have kept in touch this whole time?
We lost touch when they moved to North Carolina,
Okay.
and about 10 years ago, we got back in touch through Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Visited each other a few times, North Carolina and Colorado.
So you came out to Colorado a few times?
Twice I was out there to visit them.
Okay. So let's see, 10 years. So you found each other on Facebook about 10 years ago.
Right.
And then, do you remember, let's see, so you came out to Colorado 2 times. When was the last time?
2014.
2014.
Right.
That was the last time you were here?
That was the last time I was in Colorado, yes.
All right. So I assume you had met Chris as well.
I did.
Okay. All right. How often did you and SHANANN, did you guys talk a lot on the phone, or were you more text and Facebook stuff?
We did text, Facebook, some phone calls.
Okay.
We didn't talk as much as I would have liked.
Yeah.
We did. I would say we probably text more often.
Okay.
The last time I'd seen her, we had gone to New Orleans together in the end of April.
Oh, okay. I think I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah, so we did see each other.
And was that a Lavelle event?
Yes. Yes, it was.
So was it Lavelle also?
I am not as much as she was into it, but
It sounds like she was pretty heavy into it.
yes, very much so.
Okay. So did she recruit you for that?
She did.
Okay. All right. So you were in New Orleans for a Lavelle event. Sorry, I'm taking some notes here, so
Okay.
try to catch up. So did you guys hang out quite a bit when you were in New Orleans?
Yeah, we stayed in the same hotel room.
Okay. Did you guys have a
That was for the whole 5 days.
Okay. Did you guys have a chance to talk about their relationship? How's she doing with Chris? Anything like that?
As far as I knew, everything was fine.
She never let him.
I had no, not with me, no.
Okay. Would that be something that she would normally talk to you about?
I would have hoped she would have. I would have hoped that she had felt she could have. But like I said, as far as I knew, everything was okay.
Okay.
She talked to him while we were there. Everything seemed fine with her talking to him.
Yeah. So with her conversations with him, were they, were you around when they were talking? Did they seem contentious, or did they seem, like normal?
No, a few times in the room she would call him at night. How are the girls? How are things? Everything seemed normal.
Okay. It's like a normal conversation to have.
A normal conversation, yes.
And were those phone calls pretty long in length, or were they really short?
No, I would say relatively short, not anything lengthy, no.
Okay.
Not when I was around anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
And like I said, I was with her most of the time.
And you said that was 5 days worth, you think?
Yeah, we were there 5 days.
Let's see. When was the last time you actually spoke to her?
It was a week before she went missing. We were texting.
Okay.
She had told me she was excited about going home.
Is that when she was in North Carolina with the girls?
Yes, right.
That was about a week before she went missing, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything unusual or anything stand out about that text string?
No.
Okay.
No, we were talking about her being ready to go home, and she said absolutely she was ready.
Okay. Did she say if Chris was with her at that point?
She didn't tell me he was, but I knew he had gone there the last week she was in North Carolina.
How did you know that?
She told me he was going there the last week, and then I saw pictures on Facebook.
Okay. All right. Do you remember how you found out that she was actually missing and the girls?
It was Monday night, and I saw her brother's post on Facebook.
Okay. What did that post say?
What did the first one I saw say? Something along the lines of, please pray, my sister and the girls went missing. Something along those lines. I don't remember exactly what it said.
That was from her brother.
It was her brother, yeah.
When you saw that, Did you try to call her, text her, reach out to her, anything like that?
I don't believe I texted her, no.
Okay.
Because I knew her phone was found at home. Her mom told me. I spoke to her mom that Monday night.
You did, okay.
Yeah.
And what did Mom say?
She was concerned. She had said that, Chris backing his truck into the driveway was unusual, and just that he hadn't been his normal self while he was in North Carolina.
Okay. Did she...
She used the word standoffish, was what she said. Yeah, but she didn't go into any more detail than that.
All right. How did she know about about him back in the truck into the garage? Sorry.
How did she know that he did? I'm not really sure. I don't know if she had spoken to a neighbor or if Chris had told her. I'm really not exactly sure how she knew that.
Had she talked to Chris that night? Do you know?
I don't know if she spoke to him that night. I had texted him.
You texted
And
Chris?
he was answering me like he didn't know anything.
That was Monday night?
I don't know if it was Monday night or Tuesday. I have the messages in my phone, but it might have been Tuesday.
Could I get you to take screenshots of those and send them to me?
Sure.
That would be great. If you get text messages starting anytime on Monday concerning this.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was Monday or Tuesday, but I did save them all. I have everything. Hold on. Where can I send them to?
You can either text them. See. Let me give you my email address. Might be easier.
Okay. Let me just find a piece of paper to write on here. Okay.
So basically, it's gonna be my name. So it'll be Greg, Greg.
Okay.
Dot Z as in zebra, E, N as in Nancy, T as in Tom, N as in Nancy, ER.
Okay.
At state.co.us.
EUS?
State.co.us.
US, okay. Okay.
Yeah, if you do the screenshots, that'd be great. I'd appreciate that.
No problem.
How many text exchanges did you have with Chris?
There was a few.
Okay. And that was, was that Monday night you said? I'm sorry.
Do you want me to look while I have you on the phone?
Oh yeah, if you got it handy.
I just have to put you on speaker. Hold on. Let me see. Chris. Oh, it was Monday night at 6 o'clock.
Okay. Is that 6 o'clock your time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the last time I spoke to him was Tuesday at 4:20 my time. And then I texted him on Wednesday afternoon, but there was no answer. So.
What time on Wednesday does it say?
2:08 p.m.
Okay.
So yeah, there was quite a few back and forth messages.
Okay. Yeah, if you'd send me those, that'd be great. I'd appreciate it.
Okay.
Let's see. Did any of those text strings? What's he saying to you?
Let's see. Go back. I had first said, "Oh my God, Chris, what's going on?" He said, "We can't find Shanann or the kids at all." And then he said the car was there. They were going to file a missing persons report in the morning if he didn't hear from her. He said he spoke to her in the morning between 4 and 5 a.m. And she went back to sleep, and she was still there when he left, and the kids were still sleeping. And then he said the cops were searching the house, and the cops had her phone. And then I asked him how he knew something was wrong, and he said she didn't answer my calls or text today or anyone else's. And I was basically just asking questions like, was the house locked? Was there any sign of a break-in? Things like that.
Okay. Did he ever say anything about, like, meds being gone or anything like that? Meds not being taken, clothes, or anything like that?
No. The only thing he said was that the car was there and her phone was still there.
And her phone, okay.
What else? Let me see. And then the last thing he told me was that he had talked to 3 different news crews and the dogs swept the house for scent. And that was the last thing he texted me. And that was Tuesday at 4:20.
Okay. Anything about their relationship that ever kind of didn't sit right with you or seemed unusual or off?
No, I thought they were the perfect couple.
Yeah, that's pretty
And
much the
that's
consensus.
what everybody, I know. I can't even believe we're having this conversation.
Yeah, it's, yeah.
I feel like it's happening to somebody else. I had met him when they first started dating in North Carolina, and he seemed like such a nice guy. I don't understand any of this.
Yeah, a lot of people have told us the same thing.
Uh-huh.
All right. Let's see. Anything we haven't covered that you think we need to?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Looking back.
I wish you could just say, Kelly, this is why this happened.
Yeah, I wish I had an answer for you. I really do.
It's just, there's no words. There's not.
Yeah. When was the first time you came out to Colorado?
The first time was 2013.
Okay.
When she was pregnant, actually. We were out there for her baby shower with Bella.
Okay.
And it was their 1-year wedding anniversary.
All right. And then in 2014, was there a special occasion why you came out for that one?
That was around my birthday.
Okay. When was the last time you actually saw Chris?
That second 2014, and when I went out there.
Okay.
Mhm.
Did you go on other trips with SHANANN?
No, not with Lavelle, no.
Just the one to New Orleans.
That was just the one in New Orleans, yeah.
All right. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. If you think of anything else that you think is absolutely important, if you'd send me an email or give me a phone call, I'd appreciate that.
Okay,
And if you'll
definitely.
send those screenshots.
Yeah, I'll send you all the messages.
Yep, no, I appreciate that. So,
Okay.
Well, I appreciate you calling me back, and if you need to talk again, please let me know.
Yeah, if you need anything from me, let me know.
Will do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.